All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to today's edition of the Just Us Review. We like to take our favorite shows, whether they're the genre superhero, supernatural, sci-fi, horror. We do not care because we're here for the content. If we like it, we love it. If we hate it, God damn it, you gonna hear about it today. Today we got a somber one today. That's right, Black Lightning has wrapped up with its series finale. See, 4 seasons in, 4 out, and it was horrible. Like, I'd rather they just left last episode on a cliffhanger because this shit was just... You know what? I'm jumping ahead of the game. You know what? Let's go across the room. John, first impressions of this episode.
So much to do with so little time.
Christian, what about you?
They had 2 choices, end strong or limp to the barn. Guess which one they chose?
What about you, Sid?
I was not impressed.
And me, shit show. So, let's go ahead and talk about the goods of the show. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about the bads of this show.
Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. So Jennifer, the old act, huh?
I wanted that one.
Oh, okay, go ahead, Sid.
Okay. I mean, we can share.
Okay, we can double take.
All right, so basically, old Jen comes back. She was that energy essence that's been trying to touch old girl since episode 4.
Mm-hmm.
This came out of nowhere.
Left field.
Yeah.
This evil clone thing came out of nowhere.
You don't do this at a season finale.
Because there were no hints that she was an evil clone until this
right
episode. Until right then and right here. Right now.
You know what I'm reminded of? Did anyone ever see? I know. Did anyone see Dark Phoenix?
No.
I saw Dark Phoenix.
Okay.
I know where you're going.
So in the comics, in the Phoenix Saga comics, when Jean was first invaded with the Phoenix or whatever, and then she died, when she came back, everybody was like, holy shit, Jean's back, la da 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 da. And then it turned out that was never Jean. The Phoenix was walking around pretending to be Jean, and from the moment she encountered Jean in space, she took her body and put it in the Hudson Bay in a cocoon. That's what this reminded me of.
So no, but that sounded better.
So there's a lot of things going wrong with this. First of all, you don't introduce us at the end. Second of all, with the whole thing. So in order for her to come back, the fake Jen had to go to the ozone layer to absorb energy. And apparently she knew this. Why the fuck did she keep going back to the ozone layer?
Because there was a little bit of old Jen in her. OG Jen in her.
So stupid was.
So stupid
That's why
was,
she was stupid.
Because so stupid was a progressive thing.
Because she made a comment. She was like, there was just a little bit of me left in you, and you couldn't resist. And that's what irked me, because it was like, so you left her in the ionosphere, but you kept going back up there. But that's not even the most egregious thing about that. Christian, can you point out to them the biggest problem with this whole Jen reveal? You mentioned it last night.
You mean the fact that is this a whole ass different person and
A whole ass alien.
yeah, a whole ass alien, and they wanted to talk about how how they didn't know that there was life out there and
No, not that. I guess I'll bring it up. Okay, so Jen was an alien this entire time.
Oh, yeah, I remember what you were talking about. How the fuck did the emitter work on her?
It doesn't make sense.
The emitter should have never worked if she wasn't even human.
I don't know.
Because the emitter wouldn't have worked on Superman. Because the emitter, the whole point of the emitter...
Tobias well say.
The whole point of the emitter was it suppresses your meta gene. Bitch, you were an alien. You never had a meta gene to begin with.
I don't know exactly how to explain it, but basically she was Jen. She just looked different. She took her essence, she took her DNA, all of that stuff. So technically she had the Jen.
And this is another problem that I have with this. 2 other shows have already addressed this issue. The Flash and Superwoman. They're in the same universe.
Mm-hmm.
It's like none of these people talk to each other.
No, they don't. And Jeff joined the Justice League and then fucked off.
And you telling me as soon as he joined, oh, by the way, aliens can, turn into people we love. Here's something that you can use just in case down the line.
Well, the fact that I just found it funny that Jim was like, it's so funny that there's life out there. And literally Superman and Martian Manhunter are in the next city over, and
I'm just pissed off at the fact that a little bit of Jin in you overrides your brain functions until you go to ionosphere where you got caught again.
where you put the shit that would stop you up there. Like, why would you keep going up there to fuck with?
Like if the thing that could kill me is at Cold Stone Creamery, I'm not going to fucking Cold Stone
Creamery.
So here's my question: What was this alien's motivation for everything?
You're never gonna get that because this was a 13 episode season instead of a 26 episode season.
She just wanted to be among the people.
Yeah, she wanted to be human. I want to be where the people are.
I've not been paying attention to what's been going on in Freeland.
You chose to be black. So let me get my other bad off my chest.
Mm-hmm.
Blackbird and Grace Joy.
Grace Joy, okay.
This is the dumbest shit. Why did they have to go through a costume swap? What was the point of this?
You mean why didn't they just wear their costumes?
Yes.
So okay, this is probably a stupid explanation, but I do have an explanation for that. Cause I questioned it before with Grace, but in the Khalil episode, it's shown that she just morphed into her costume.
She's like Mystique.
How do you morph?
She's like Mystique.
You grow clothes. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna let that. Okay,
And for Anissa, the only thing I can tell you is just like Black Lightning and Thunder's costumes are activated by their powers, she probably and her
So
suit come up.
So she got to stump the yard. So, and I'm sitting there looking like this costume change was so unnecessary.
Yeah.
It really was. And then, what was fucking silly to me at the beginning where they are basically like, oh my God, Jefferson, the guy we never listened to this entire dead.
That we disrespect all the time.
Exactly. And
we can go ride out with him.
Because we thought of a bitch ass nigga because I wouldn't, he wouldn't let me do my drugs or whatever. And now he's dead. We should probably come together and do something about that.
I will say this. If anything, Lynn was consistent. She didn't give a fuck before, and she didn't give a fuck then. She wasn't crying or hollering or screaming.
Which brings me to another point. The main character was supposedly dead, and the room felt like it didn't feel shit.
The only motherfucker that was crying was TC.
No, the only person that was crying was fake Jen.
TC was broke down.
TC was like,
TC said, I can't do this anymore. He literally said that. I'm like, you and me both, brother. I can't do this.
The adopted kids showed more sorrow that the dad was gone than anybody else.
Anyone in the family.
Yeah,
but
he was sad. The rest of them were angry.
This was also a family where Jim was like, you mean Dad was the only person that felt like I wasn't me? Because the rest of y'all...
Which is so fucking stupid.
No, it isn't. And you know why? Because Jen get on my fucking nerves too.
But the thing is, that only works if this being took you over and looked exactly like you. And I'm like, everybody who's watching this thought something was wrong because it was just so off that...
But my excuse is, since Jen got her powers, they've always made this thing about them kind of being in tune with each other, so to speak. So that was my excuse. He was probably like, the lightning's off, but every time I bring it up, everybody be like, it's lightning! It's her! Stop, Jeff! Embrace your daughter!
That's what
that ain't my damn
and that's what pisses me off, because I was like, there was no vindication for Jeff at all.
No, you weren't gonna get that.
There was a lot of shit that didn't get answered or vindicated or whatever. Or just addressed.
So the next bad I gotta give it to is Sheriff No Good versus Jen. Lightning versus Sub Lightning. So
she didn't get out of the alley.
No.
Yeah, no.
By the way, that was my Georgia State.
What was that
First
fight?
question: why did Jen even? What made Jen go over there?
What was that fight for? What was it for?
To give Jen
Wrapping
something
shit
to do.
up.
Which
Wrapping
is
shit
weird
up.
because she already just fought herself.
So question.
So Jen had to solve all the problems.
yeah.
So what was the wrap up with the sheriff, with the captain? What happened to her? All we know what?
She going to jail.
How do we know that? There was no summation of anything.
What
Because
the alternative?
she
police
attacked the
was right
police.
there. She attacked the police.
Again, like there was no satisfaction whatsoever given to the viewer.
That's what it is.
I had satisfaction because
Not
that
really.
Dana analyst was fine as hell.
Get your bag.
Girl, get your gun.
I was like, yeah, get the handcuffs too.
Next bad.
Next bad. Okay.
I got one, and we're skipping way ahead.
Can we build up to it real quick?
He ain't talking about that.
It's not dealing with Tobias.
Kinda.
All right,
Okay,
my
my
bad.
bad.
Okay, so my bad. The fight scenes were terrible.
Oh
this
my
entire
god, they did.
episode.
They walked through.
Why would you try at the end?
like
Why would you try?
no
at the
one
end?
gave a shit.
It was terrible. Like we could see all the whiffs. We could see all the double takes where they like, okay, now roll in this position. We're gonna
Not just that, the wire working, but I've always felt like the wire working was kind of shitty anyway. But the wire working was, I almost literally saw a wire when Jen was in the, because she always hangs like this.
Yeah.
Dark Jen, I'm gonna call her Dark Jen. She always looked super fucking awkward in the costume anyway, like a little kid who's wearing
a onesie.
Yeah.
Onesie is too small.
Or a grown ass motherfucker wearing a kid's outfit. She always looked like the costume cut off here.
At one point, I even saw the craft services table. I was like, y'all don't give a damn.
So in the Tobias and Jeff fight, this was the most egregious.
Mm-hmm.
I
think
can
I know
see
what
the
you're talking
stunt
about.
double.
Yeah.
Yes.
After he threw Tobias out the building,
No,
and
even
what?
before that, when Tobias threw him down, anytime Black Lightning got thrown down, that
It
was
was
a stunt double,
double.
and he could tell because his hair kept changing.
I
I was gonna say
I told
that.
you that afro was fucked up because when he hit him with the chair, I was like, "There go that fucked up wig again."
At the end, it wasn't even an afro. That motherfucker had a fade.
So since we talking about the fight, because that's one of my bads as well. I'm sorry, but you can't make me believe that you have the strength of 3 men, and then when you get in this fight, the best thing you can do is pick up a glass and then throw that.
And I was gonna add that. I was gonna say there's something we need to address. Can Tobias fight or
They got
not?
real lazy in this last.
Yeah, because all Tobias does is throw stuff at you and do this. Like that's really all he do. And I'm like, this is the nigga that beat Black Lightning's ass last
But you
week.
remember the first season, he was sitting in the dojo and
Yeah.
people coming at him.
Yeah, and I'm like, what martial art is this? And it really hurt me because they made a specific point to point out earlier in the season that Jeff is the most highly trained fighter in Freeland. Why? Because he beat up every hobo in those cage fights. So then Tobias come in and Tobias is fighting worse than those hobos. He beating the shit out of Black Lightning.
He hitting him with Hobby Lobby stuff.
Yeah.
Glasses, mason jars,
And what makes it so fucking egregious is like it literally boiled down to if you see 2 women fighting over a man at the laundromat or some shit like
And,
that.
the worst part of this fight was the ending when he throws Tobias out the window accidentally. And the CG for this, God help us all.
Okay. We talking about something different.
This motherfucker sitting there hanging. I was like, I don't believe any of this.
Like your body doesn't do.
Hey, you tell me before you die, you pull out 2.
There we go. I'm like, you had pistols the entire time.
He screamed thug like an empty.
And it was so awkward. He was like, I'm gonna kill this nigga.
So that leads into the bad I wanted to throw out there, and that is so you know, we just do a little casual murder and then we have a
We
party
should have a
right
party.
after that.
Literally right after
Just
that.
go home and have a celebration.
And the body is still up there.
Still there.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a captain who needs to go to jail.
Mhm.
There's a dead mayor
Mm-hmm.
in his building.
And no one went to check on the mayor.
No one gives a
Right.
fuck about Jirai or whatever that boy's name that died. Like, just fuck him.
What are you talking about? Ishmael's still in the woods.
He
Like,
dead too.
Ishmael dead. We just skipped over the painkiller shit, so whatever.
Because that's not happening.
So the last thing with Tobias I got to talk about is normally this goes in my goods, but it seemed like he just summoned his last inner, I guess what you said, Klansman,
Mhm.
and just threw all
It was
the verbiage at Black Lightning.
It was Steven at the end of Django.
Yeah.
Like you big lip, bug eye, jigaboo,
That-
jive turkey.
There wasn't even any heart in
My
it.
thing is, like, the whole season has been building up to this fight.
And this fight was so
And it was horrible.
Mhm.
Like,
Like they needed to do better and they did.
And-
all in all, this was a terrible way to end a series that started off with such great potential.
We forgot about Lala.
I wasn't going to
No.
mention that.
doesn't deserve to be mentioned.
I did want to mention something. Well, I guess we can mention it post credits.
All in all, this was a lackluster end to a series that had such great promise. And we told you guys from the beginning that it felt like they didn't care, and honestly, they proved it. And I know they're talking about maybe doing something else with these characters, but honestly, they just need to bury them. Thank you guys for joining us on this.
Oh, go ahead.
Thank you guys for joining us on this trip as we for the Justice Review, as we try to, follow up and vindicate Black Lightning, but unfortunately, it failed itself. Like and subscribe, but until next time, Gambit can't do everything.
You about to
So Grace Joy has a code name now in the very last episode, in the very last scene.
She's been called Wild.
When was this?
like
It was
back
earlier
when,
this season.
back when the mayor got killed.
Okay.
What's her code?
So the last time she wore her costume.
Yeah.
Why?
Wild.
Yeah.
Is this comic book accurate?
No. She was just fucking Grace Joy.
The one that got me was I was like, okay, so the one thing that you guys are using to suppress meta powers. By the way, the only meta power that I saw came back was Black Lightnings and Thunders. So all these 50 million metas around the world that they were suppressing didn't show.
It wasn't around the world. It
No,
was
no, around freely. Well, all these metas they were suppressing. Why didn't we just see a couple examples of them flaring up?
Yeah.
But
I
you
mean,
would,
want no metas.
but you would think that if this thing was such high priority, that I don't know, maybe it'd be guarded by a couple of metas with bracelets, to stop people from doing what Gambit did.
Yeah. But according to Gamby, these were like deep level Suicide Squad level, I don't know, Task Force X type dudes that was guarding at the best.
And then he hired a dude, which, by the way, the guy that they set on fire and then they devoted way too much camera time to that dude. I'm like, we get it, you're dead.
No,
Like,
but Christian, you don't understand. They had $5 and $4 went to that, so they had to put the camera on that.
And so Tobias has invisible assassins, right? Oh,
Yeah.
you could have fooled me by this episode.
Why didn't you put invisible assassins in the room so that when somebody went in there, they can murder
no
them?
time, shut up. Like, and that was to me, that was like the attitude for this entire episode. No time, shut
Oh,
up.
why didn't they ever square the Lady Eve thing?
They never squared that. They never squared this council that Tobias was trying to get in so bad, but apparently he could just pimp his way in. They didn't square away Gamby's girlfriend. They didn't square away.
The mayoral race, or what happens now that the mayor dies.
Or that there's possible footage that Black Lightning killed the mayor.
Or that the mayor turned into a 153-year-old man. Or that the chief of police went off the rails for first of all, she created a hate video on Facebook and posted it on Twitter that got shared around the world. How did she keep her job to begin with?
I mean, to be fair, that happened, and then she immediately took drugs and went out. There was no time to fire
Was she
her.
wearing that uniform when she went out?
I don't remember.
I don't remember her wearing that uniform.
But here's my question, and this shows bad female writing. So her husband dies, because he's unable to control his powers,
Mhm.
and it takes over.
Mhm.
So she's unable to control herself. Like, that's just bad writing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's like the Flash. The only good metas are on Team Flash.
Exactly.
Everyone else who has meta powers is just evil.
Exactly. It's really fucking weird. So what you're saying is people suck really, really bad, and you need an excuse to be on them.
Like fucking Tobias, like you don't know how to kill a man. You killed 50,000 people, but you don't know how to kill Jeff. It ain't like
It wasn't about killing Jeff. It was about making a statement.
No, he thought Jeff was dead.
I
He
don't
didn't
know.
make him dead. He buried him alive.
Exactly. He did that on purpose.
Why would you even leave that door open?
Because that's what villains do.
Exactly.
That was
Cartoon
just
super
stupid.
villains do.
Realistically, if I buried you alive, do you really think I should have not buried you alive?
I should have put 2 in you and then bury you.
Okay, but I buried you alive under dirt
I wouldn't
in
give
a
you.
box.
I wouldn't give you the chance.
Kill Bill, Black Lightning, all that shit's fake.
Gotta learn the hard way sometimes.
I mean, you'll suffocate to death. And that was the thing that was pissing me off. I was like, Jeff, shut up. You're using up all your air.
Tobias.
You know,
Oh, and why was he in the room by himself?
So the energy underground.
the shit that they. So I don't know if I would call this a good, but I will say touche. This was clever as fuck.
No.
So, and I say clever because they used it.
No.
So the Prometheum X that Wayne Brady charged up when he fought Lightning last season, he created that created the Prometheum X. And the Prometheum X is what charged up Black Lightning.
So I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't he know he could use Prometheum X this whole time?
Shut up. Talking about Black Lightning?
Exactly.
When would he have needed
Shut up,
to
we're
do
wrapping
that?
it up.
No, seriously, when would he have needed to
They
test
are.
that?
He is aware that Prometheum X exists.
Okay.
Why wouldn't he know? Especially knowing that he can feel.
Yeah, he
electricity.
felt it.
Of course. Why wouldn't he be able to sense it from Prometheum earlier?
In a world where you're above ground and there's electricity everywhere, you wouldn't feel it.
He can feel it from anywhere, though.
No, he didn't. He had to focus to even feel what he felt underground.
So in the base where they are, which is underground.
Talking about the Black Cave?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You telling me he wouldn't even sense it there?
I would say no because there's a bunch of computers and shit.
I don't know.
I'm just giving you my
I
opinion.
don't know. This seems like a cop out.
I thought he was gonna find like electrical lines, like how they sometimes run underground and shit like
or
that.
like Wi-Fi and shit.
Yeah. I thought that's what he was doing.
You know, or my thing is, this would have been hilarious. If he would have found one of those old school Nokia phones.
I thought
Nokia bricks.
at first I thought I did think he was gonna use a cell phone or that shit. He tried to zap Tobias, but I forgot Tobias stepped on it and broke it.
I'm sorry. My thing is, you Black Lightning. You don't keep charges on you just in case.
Who knows, man?
In the old suit, I think he did.
And my thing is, like, why didn't he just turn to pure electricity after he charged up to get out? Well, I forgot he can't do that.
You can't do that. Lightning can.